Hey everybody, my name is Ray Preston. I am the Director of Sales with Flippa here, and I am joined by Michael Schaffner, who is representing a really cool business, Hype the Nation. It's a premium WooCommerce e-commerce store that focuses in the collectible fashion niche. Michael, why don't you tell us a little bit about Hype the Nation?
Yeah, so Hype the Nation is like you mentioned, a premium WooCommerce store that was started by my 14-year-old son. Right before the pandemic hit, the plan was he was going to open a gallery and he was going to keep inventory of his personal collection, which at the time was massive. He had very rare sneakers, and that was going to be the first retail location. And then he was going to combine it with shipping orders to customers all over North America. The pandemic hit, we backtrack on our lease. They understand that we never, we weren't able to execute the lease. So we shifted, and I basically told him, just go for online sales. And, I don't know much about online sales, but he does. He's a social media expert. So, he just produced content and delivered a lot of free information regarding, new drops, which are new releases of sneakers coming out, and streetwear. And he built a massive following on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. So that's where he generates his sales, and he just killed it throughout the pandemic. I was in shock how well he did. 18 months into it, I don't know if he gets burnt out or if he's just 14 years old, but he says, "Dad, I just want to focus on paintball." So that's where we're at now. And he's really lost all motivation regarding Hype the Nation, but he's done an incredible job of just building a store and a following of like-minded consumers.
That's awesome. I wish I had the wherewithal at 14 to put together an online business like this. Although you couldn't do online businesses like this when I was 14, and probably when you were 14, it just wasn't available. So at its peak, Hype the Nation was doing about 20K in revenue from what I can see here. I mean, that's no joke. And you also mentioned the social following. So you mentioned Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Do you know how many followers that he was able to get across his social media platforms?
Right. So he has about 13,000 followers on Instagram, between two Instagram accounts, 10,000 in one and 3,000 in the other. And that's been his vehicle for generating sales and driving traffic to the website. And that's really been his expertise, is Instagram. Facebook, he has maybe 1,000 followers. TikTok, he's not very active in TikTok, just because he doesn't have the video production skills to put together, at least in his opinion. He doesn't have those skills to put together those short videos, but it's much easier for him to produce Instagram content, and it's been effective for him.
That's fantastic. Now, let me ask you this: who would be the ideal buyer for a business like this, in your view, in your opinion?
I think the ideal buyer is someone that is going to be consistent with social media content, whether it's just producing some simple visuals, or sharing a blog, sharing information about new drops, whatever it may be. Just consistently being on social media and having a presence on social media. That will probably take just 2 hours a day at the most, but it does require someone who really enjoys being in social media and having the consistency to share that information.
2 hours a day. That's not terrible. Now, with the successful sale here, will you or your son or somebody from Hype the Nation be providing any type of help with the business, at least for 30 days or something along those lines, to help them kind of get it up and running again?
Right, that's a great question, Ray. I'm a low tech kind of guy. I'm a Gen Xer, and my son, he's all about tech. And I told him, look, explain to me, if I were to run this business, explain it to me as if I have no experience whatsoever. And so I helped him develop an owner's manual that we could pass along.
Awesome.
And I learned so much. I learned so much from him, and I helped him put it on paper so that we can pass it along to the new buyer. And I was surprised how simple it is, being that he's already built it out. So he taught me how to update pricing. He taught me how to upload new products to the website, how to even create visuals on Canva, and how to share those visuals on Instagram and Facebook. He showed me how to run Facebook ads. So none of it is very complicated. I was very surprised at the simplicity of it.
Yeah, it's amazing how easy it is to really get started with some of these businesses. It just takes, I think, to your point, the want and the need and the drive to continue doing it, right? To put in the time that's required. So Michael, a couple other quick questions here before we sign off. As far as the sneakers are going, how are you guys getting supplies, right? Or is this all drop shipped? Are you guys warehousing anywhere? Like how do supplies get to your consumers?
Right. So our suppliers are US based, and they are solid in acquiring collectible sneakers. And so basically any sneaker that's priced less than $3,500, they can acquire it and drop ship it within 10 to 14 days. And that may seem like a long period, but the consumer, it's not very long, just because it's not a sneaker that they can just go to Foot Locker and purchase. It's an asset that they're acquiring, so they're willing to wait a little longer, especially with our automated emails that is sent when a purchase is made, and there's tracking information provided. The consumer is willing to wait those 10 to 14 days. Anything over $3,500, we get into, like I said, that asset, believe it or not, that people want to hang on to. They don't want to let go of, so it's more rare. And it's harder for our supplier to acquire that sneaker in that exact size that the consumer is asking for. But they've been a great partner with us. At the very beginning of Alex's business, he actually had inventory in a storage and fulfillment center, and then just because he was planning on opening up that gallery, and he just shifted completely to drop shipping. Now, the new buyer, can keep inventory. It's totally up to them, just to reduce the turnaround time if need be. But at this point, we've been based on our experience, there's no need to do so.
Fantastic. This seems, very much like somebody can take this on and grow it relatively quickly, which is exciting. Very much turnkey. One other, non-question that I'm going to ask, I just want to share with everybody that's going to watch this interview. This business is pre-qualified for up to $18,000 in acquisition capital from our partners at Yardline. So really, really, great business here that our partners at Yardline are keen to providing some acquisition capital as well, which we all know cash is king, and if you don't have to use your own cash to invest fully in a business, that's the way to go. So wanted to share that with those watching it. And my last question here for you, Michael, before we sign off is, give me one thing in this business that you think is just the biggest opportunity for somebody to come in, put the key in the ignition, and turn this thing on.
Right. So I work in pharma. I'm an executive at a small pharmaceutical company, and we're constantly doing SWOT analysis, your strengths, weaknesses, evaluating our opportunities and threats. And so, I helped my son do that for Hype the Nation just recently. And what we found is that, a lot of these major brands are shifting to direct-to-consumer business models and cutting out mid-size, even large retailers of their inventory. And for example, Nike has come out with their own sneaker app, and it's made it more difficult for people to get their hands on highly desirable sneakers that have dropped. And what that's created is a parallel market for example, for sellers like Hype Nation to provide a service where the customer doesn't have to stress out about logging into the app at a certain time or stand in line, and they can just place the order with us, and we will acquire the sneaker that they desire in the size that they want, and within a reasonable amount of time. And the second opportunity is really to expand on the business model. Something we haven't really done is, Alex has mentioned that consignment is a big deal, because some of his friends said, "Hey, can you sell this sneaker for me?"
Yeah.
And he would sell them, on other platforms besides our website. And so he realized that there's an opportunity for consignment. And I think if the new buyer expands the consignment aspect of the business, I think there'll be an acquisition in the future by a larger company such as StockX or some other company like that wants to get into the sneaker game.
That's incredibly exciting, Michael, and really appreciate your time here today. And we're really excited to have Hype the Nation here on the Flippa platform, and we can't wait to share this interview to the masses. And again, Michael, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Ray. Appreciate it.